Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to my page, my platform, my channel, wherever you're watching me from. Welcome back. I'm happy to have you. So, you guys, it's the 40 Days of Love. We are on day 31. We are almost there, y'all. After next week, you won't even see me. You will not see Shakima. But while you're here, listen, let's do all of the things. Like the video, share, subscribe, do all of those things. Tap the screen. It just helps us get out into the algorithm. That's what we need. We need people to hear the message of Christ. I told y'all, you'll get 9,043 zillion views from a little goat hopping across the screen. But you go out here and do something for Jesus. 4 people watching. I'm glad you're here. All righty. So those of you who do not know me, my name is Pastor Shakima. I am a ladies pastor. I have a ministry that the Lord has allowed me to facilitate. It's called First Love Ministries with Shakima Wilson. I've had this ministry since 2014. I became licensed and ordained. I became licensed in 2019 in the state of South Carolina, and I became ordained in 2020 in the state of North Carolina. So I am in both places doing all of the things. My main mission is to teach women how to be wives, how to be mothers. That's my job. That's what God has given me to do. And I do it with fidelity. I hope, I pray, I try to do it the best that I can. I'm excited about this particular study. So those of you who are new, remember, I do this every January, probably for the last three or 4 years. I think this might be year 4. But every January, it's like your New Year's resolution, right? Everybody has their New Year's resolution. And we, about the second week, we're not resolved to do anything. But I'm hoping and praying that if you take the challenge, the 40 Days of Love challenge, if you take that challenge, that by the end of the 40th day, you should see a change in your marriage. Maybe not in the spouse, maybe just in you. Remember what we talked about at the very beginning. This is not about changing your spouse. This is about changing you, because we cannot change other people, but I can adjust myself. I can adjust my attitude. I can adjust my tone of voice when I'm speaking. I can decide what are my rules of engagement. If I was formerly an argue person, I'm not arguing with you anymore. If I was, if I'm causing all this chaos, I can change my mind and not do that anymore. Now, I will say this because this is the truth, and I would not like anybody to be here under false pretenses. I'm not sure that this will save your marriage. I just know it's a good study to do. I know God ordained marriage. It's a good idea. It's a God idea. That's all I know. If you do it with fidelity, you should see something. But some people are too far gone, and you just have to let people be where they are. Give it your best effort, right? If they want to leave, guess what they're going to do? They're going to leave, but you won't leave me saying I didn't give you everything I had. I've given you everything I had plus some. So that's where we are with that particular thought. I pray and hope that God has reconciliation and restoration for your marriage. That is what his heart desires. He does not love divorce. It's not his favorite thing. He will allow it, but he doesn't love it. And so I just pray that the Lord would allow restoration and reconciliation to come into your marriage so that it would be new. You can be a honeymooner all over again. All righty. So the 40 Days of Love. We are almost there, you guys. Today was day 31. And we're just going to recap day 31 real quick before we jump into day 32. Day 31 was love and marriage. This was an attention day. Your source verses for this day are Genesis 2:24, Philippians 2:4, James 1:19 and 20, Proverbs 24:3 and 4, Ephesians 5:33, Genesis, Mark 10:6-9, Ephesians 5:31. Make sure I don't miss one. Ephesians 5:25, Ephesians 5:22 through 23. Okay, I think that was all. Your dare for today, this is what we're doing today, right? So you should have had time. By the time I come on at 9 o'clock, you should be done. You should have reflected. You should have done all the things. You should have sat down and had your cup of coffee or whatever with your little pen in hand, and you're just taking your little notes, right? The notes, the reflection portion is for you to go back and see if you've made any adjustments, right? If they're not reciprocating to you, are you still angry? Are you upset? How are you dealing with that? Because whatever we feel on the inside, it's going to affect the person that we're trying to dare, right? Like the video, tap the screen, do all those things. That just helps push us out into the algorithm. We appreciate you. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Just let me know where you guys are chiming in from. I'm always happy to know. Hey, friend. It is my birthday. Today is my birthday. I turned 50 today. I'm thankful that the Lord allowed me to see 50, and I've asked him to let me see 50 more in Jesus' name, because that's the only way I can be married to my husband for 50 years. I got to see 50 more. I need 51 because I ain't met him yet. Praise God. So here's your dare for today. Is there a leaving issue with your parents or someone else you haven't been brave enough to conquer yet? Confess it to your spouse today and resolve to make it right. The oneness of your marriage is dependent on it. Follow this with a commitment to your spouse and to God to make your marriage the top priority over every other human relationship. Remember yesterday we talked about the fact that there's a lot of people who do not adjust to the leave and cleave. So the Bible tells us in Genesis 2:18-24 that a man, he's going to meet his wife and they're going to get together, and he's going to leave his hey now, from San Francisco. Hey, my daughter's in the Bay Area. He is going to leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife. That's what yesterday was in a nutshell. And that can be a hard sell for some people, especially those of us parents who are, we are hands-on parents. This might be my only child. This is my only son. This is my only daughter. I really don't want them to go anywhere. But once marriage occurs, parents have no more say-so. You are no longer the authority in that child's life. That spouse is now the authority. They have authority in each other's lives. And we have to, especially us parents, we have to learn how to step out of authority role and step into counsel role. And that, I think, to me, that is that's a promotion in itself. Here's the thing. When my son-in-law married my daughter, I was so thankful that I didn't have to worry about her anymore. She was 33, 4 when they got married. And I had been worrying about her all that time. Like, who's going to take care of her if I'm not here anymore? You start to see mortality the older you get. You're like, okay, I'm not going to be here all the time. Who's going to take care of her? And here comes this big bodacious. I mean, he is like a big teddy bear guy. He comes in and he swoops her up. And I was so thankful. I texted him. I said, thank you so much for taking care of my girl. Right? I'm not trying to get in their marriage. Ain't none of my business. But I'm thankful that somebody is looking out for her. That's a promotion for me. I no longer have to take on all the burdens of raising that child. I've done my due diligence. Now that's her and her husband. They do whatever they want to do or not. Not my jam. Okay. So that was what day 31 was. If you have those attachment issues, please, please, please listen to Shakima by the Spirit of the Holy Ghost. You have got to deal with that, because you're going to have issues in your marriage trying to make somebody outside of your marriage happy. And the truth is, they're never going to be happy because they don't want you to be married. They want you to be with them, but they're married. See, this is the problem that I be having with some people. You don't want me to be married, but you all married, and you get to go home to biceps and triceps, and I got to go home to the dog. You see this? You see what I'm going home to? The dog, right? Yeah. But y'all don't want me to be. Okay, never mind. So if you have attachment issues, you got to deal with that. He did give you some options. He said, take your parents out to a meal. Here's what's going to happen in public, right? When you take them out to a meal, they can't act out, right? They're not going to act out in public. So just take them out somewhere. Don't take them to your house because stuff might happen. Or write them a letter. If you're not brave enough to have this conversation with your parents, or maybe you don't think they're equipped to deal with what you're going to say, and say it kindly, right? Then write them a letter and let them know, but in no uncertain terms, that my husband and I, we are married, we are one, and you're not going to come between that. So that was day 31. Tomorrow, okay, y'all, this is my favorite day. They're all my favorite. God, I can't even decide. But tomorrow is day 32. I always look forward to day 32 because I generally will have another session after this meeting just for women only. And we go in and we talk about all the things. I have so many resources that I want to share with y'all, but I did not plan it right this time. So I will not be doing a second session. I may have to do it another time and just invite the ladies in to talk about all of the things that you will need to be talked about. Okay. So day 32, love meets intimate needs. I'm just going to say intimate because I don't want to get no strikes. Okay. Love meets intimate needs. This is an affection day. Remember, you get all of those categories of days when you do the marriage evaluation. That was before we started. If you didn't do it yet, go do it now. You have time. Like the video, tap the screen, do all those things. Now, my source verses are 1 Corinthians 7:3, 1 Thessalonians 3:12, Proverbs 5:18-21, Hebrews 13:4 and 1 Corinthians 7:3. So what we're going to do, right? I'm not going to read a whole lot out of here. I'm just going to talk. So I'm going to just get those Bible verses though. I want to read 1 Corinthians 7:3 says, the husband must fulfill his duty to the wife, and likewise also the wife to her husband. Okay, because we're talking about fulfilling intimate needs. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. If you will, just go on over to 1 Thessalonians. We're going to find it, right? Yes. It's before Timothy. 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 12. It says, we also pray that the Lord will greatly increase your love for each other and for everyone else, just as we love you, right? So we're going to pray that the Lord would increase our love. Some of us don't even like our spouses, but listen, we're praying that the Lord would increase the love that you have towards them in this season, right? Because some of them get on your nerve. I hear you. I don't think we always have to like them, but I do think we're called to love them, right? We have to love them like Christ loved us. We have to give mercy and grace. We should. I'm not saying we have to because that sounds like an absolute. And I'm telling you what to do. We should extend mercy and grace to our spouses, right? God extends mercy and grace to us. Why don't we, in turn, extend it to them? We want we want God to be gracious with us, but we don't want to be gracious with our spouses. Just something to think about. Proverbs 5. That's after Psalms, before Isaiah. Proverbs 5, verses 18 through 21. 18. Let your own fountain be blessed and enjoy the girl you married when you were young. A loving doe and graceful deer, always let her breast satisfy you. Always be intoxicated with her love. Why should you, my son, be intoxicated with an adulterous woman and fondle a loose woman's breast? So my prayer, I do pray this, y'all might have to pray for me, but I pray that that my husband would be satisfied here, that he would be satisfied at my breast only, that he would not find satisfaction in any other person, just here, right? So that is a true prayer, because the word says, it's telling the gentleman, hey, be happy with the girl you married, find comfort in her, don't be out here trying to be with everybody else. That's the word. So I'm going to pray that for me. God, I pray, and I've been praying this for years. I pray that my husband is satisfied, totally 100% satisfied with me. And I'm gonna show you how to get there. Hebrews 13:4. It's our last verse, and then we're gonna jump in. Hebrews 13:4. Okay. Woo. Hebrews 13. Oh, I was going to 3:14. That's wrong. 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable in every way, so husbands and wives should be faithful to each other. God will judge those who commit sexual sins, especially those who commit adultery. Listen, the marriage bed is undefiled. We've heard that a lot, right? We've heard that, especially in Christian circles. You've heard that before. But what does that mean? There's a lot of people that don't understand intimate needs, right? I'm from the church. I was not raised in the church, but I started going to church when I was about 13 years old. Professed Christ when I was 14. But in the churches that I went to, we never talked about intimacy. It was not a thing. Women were made to feel ashamed. We had to wear specific clothes. We couldn't wear I could not go to church with red lipstick on. We couldn't wear bright, big blingy jewelry. I could have little studs on. We definitely wouldn't wear no bodycon dresses like people wear in the church these days. Because I mean, what exactly are you wearing, ma'am? Okay. Or if you did, more than likely you sang on the choir and you put on your robe anyway, so nobody saw anything. That's what robes were created for, to keep men from staring at the women's bodies, right? And then I heard this. Somebody said this, that the reason that the Urshas put their hands behind their back was so that they were covering up their rear end, so that the men in the audience or in the congregation were not staring at their behinds. Listen, why, friends? Why? You know, we always hear, don't cause your brother to stumble. If his eyes is getting him in trouble, that have nothing to do with me. Now, I do have a responsibility and obligation to make sure that I am decent, that I am in order, that I'm covering up all the things that need to be covered, but I am not responsible for somebody else's thought process about me. I am not. And I'll promise you, there are plenty of people who have thought things. That's your business. I'm not promoting what you're thinking, because I'm looking just for my husband. I don't want anybody else's man. I just want my man. That's it. But a lot of us, we have never been taught about intimacy. So you take this girl out of her parents' home, because yesterday we talked about leaving and cleaving, right? You take this girl, you take this guy out of their parents' home, and you put them in their own house. What do they do now? Well, they've only seen, if you have a a household where you have been teaching your children, they've seen you cook, they've seen you clean, they've seen you go to work, they've seen you come home, they've seen you do the grocery shopping, they've seen you take care of kids. They have never seen any intimacy. The occasional kiss, smooch here, the occasional butt slap there, but they have never seen all the other things. Who has that conversation? Who has that conversation with your children? My grandparents never had that conversation with me, ever. I slept in the bed with my grandparents until I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I know for sure it wasn't nothing going on up in there. Nothing. You hear me? Nothing. But who has that conversation with your kids before you put them in this situation? Because a lot of people, intimacy and money, those are the two things that lead to more divorce than anything else. I don't know how to please my man, or my man don't know how to please me. I don't know what he wants. He doesn't know what I want. Why? We need to communicate. You have to communicate to your person what it is you need. That's your reasonable service to them, right? Who wants to jump up in here? Who wants to jump up in here and not enjoy the experience? Who? He says in this chapter that this is intimacy between a husband and wife is a gift from God through marriage. Do y'all know I'm ready to open up my gift? Okay, listen to Shakima. I am ready to open up my gift. Yes, I am. Because I have not been, it is not, child, we over 16 and a half years. Y'all hear me what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm ready. But God has ordained marriage, and in the confines of marriage, he is gifting us with our spouse for the purposes of intimacy. 1 Corinthians 7:3 says, do not, your body don't belong to you, ma'am. And sir, your body don't belong to you either. Go together with your spouse so that the enemy does not have a way into your marriage. He said the only time that it is acceptable to not give yourself to your spouse is if you both agree and y'all are in prayer. And then he says, after your time of prayer, get back to it real quick. Don't be playing with it. Get back to all the things. Because if you do not, there is room for the enemy to step in any which way he feels like it. That could be the work spouse. That could be somebody they meet at the gas station. That could be somebody that prank call their phone. Who knows? Social media out here is giving people way too many chances and options for stepping out on their marriage. So if it were me, I would make sure I do everything I needed to do to keep my husband's eyes over here. Now, that does not mean you have to be a freak of the week. I'm not telling you what to do in your marriage, but I'm telling you that you need to keep it spicy. You need to keep it current. You need to keep it going. You need all the things, right? Average couple is intimate maybe 3 times a week. You better check with your man to see if 3 times a week is enough. Some people have bigger appetites than others. You need to know. I'm in my 50. I just turned 50. By this time in my life, the studies say that women start to slow down in their need for that. Men don't even hit their stride till they turn about 35. 35, they know what they about to put some gas up in this thing, honey. Okay, they about to do the things. So he's revving up and she revving down. Y'all better make sure you have some consistency somewhere. There can be, let me see this. Let me see how to say this. There can be no miscommunication when it comes to intimacy. None. But then you have to realize how we see it. Women, we are emotional beings. I love you if I'm doing all these things. Me. Men, they don't have to love nobody. That's a physical thing. They can detach their mind, their brain somewhere else. All they trying to do is do what they doing. Women, we in love, honey. We done all the things, child. Yes. And it's supposed to be in the confines of your marriage. I'm not telling anybody out here to step outside of marriage for that, because he says, and I agree, that it is not for those of us who aren't married. It does make it a challenge for those of us who are trying to remain, and those of us who have been single a long time, desirous of marriage, and God has not answered that prayer yet. That makes it's a challenge. It is exceptionally challenging. When you're talking about 16 and a half years, that's a long time. Long time, right? Some people make it, some people don't. God is a forgiver. He's going to restore us back to whatever if we slip and dip, but it is not for us to be slipping and dipping. Okay. Let me see. He says this: in marriage, romance is meant to thrive and vibrantly flourish. Both the Old and the New Testament commend the beauty of intimate love within the context of matrimony, right? He talks about in Song of Solomon, because a lot of people don't read Song of Solomon as a love letter. It is a love letter. I get a little confused at Song of Solomon. I'm not good at poetry, and it's written in that poetic verse. I don't read it well, so I have to get a different translation to really understand. But Song of Solomon is a what is it? It is a love letter between a man and a woman, preferably a husband and a wife, right? It says, let your fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times and always be enraptured with her love. That's Proverbs 5:18-19. Words like bless, rejoice, satisfy, and rapture vividly remind us that intimacy is one of God's greatest wedding gifts to be fully enjoyed on a consistent basis with husband and wife. A consistent basis. Now, again, before you get married, listen to Shakima. Listen, when you're in the courting stage, whatever you call it, we need to sit down at this table. Remember, we talked about sitting down at the table, and then we need to both bring all of the things. He's good with 5 days a week. You good with 3 days a week. Y'all better compromise at 4. He good with 7. You good with 5. Y'all better compromise at 6. Or listen, I'm good unless there's something going on in my body. Whatever you need, right? Most of us know about 7 days out the month ain't nothing happening, right? So you got to remember there's about 20 some odd more days that you got to come correct, because for a whole 7, 8, sometimes longer days, he being on his best behavior, not trying to jump your bones. So don't make him suffer, right? You got to get back into the groove of things after all that is over. In the Old Testament, they put you out. You had to go outside of the house when all that was happening. Now you get to stay in. Just take a bath because it, be a thing. Okay. He also said, oh, I love this so much. He says, through the pleasure of physical intimacy, we experience a strengthening of our relational, emotional, and spiritual intimacy as well. Faithful love transitions into overwhelming joy, resulting in a deep, abiding peace that no other intimate relationship outside of marriage can produce. When you're in the intimate act, and again, I have to be very careful how I state things. When you're in this intimate act, when the two become one, when one husband and one wife become one with each other, right? You know how that happens, right? Okay. There is no greater, there's no greater joy. There's no greater experience that can be experienced outside of that. And the height of that experience, the top part, we reach the part. He says that is as close to heaven as we'll ever experience. When you and your spouse come together in that intimacy role, and y'all both get to that pinnacle of we getting ready to go there. He says that is the highest, that is the one thing that will give you a glimpse of what heaven looks like. Heaven, you're supposed to be bursting with joy and worship and all of that in heaven. And he says he gives us a little taste of that in the marriage relationship, not any other marriage relationship. He says in marriage, you don't have regret. You don't have shame. Those people who step outside of marriage, all of us have done whatever, right? I wasn't married when my ex-husband and I first got together. We lived together for 2 years, I think, before we got married. So I'm not telling you anything I haven't ever done. But what I'm saying is, when you do stuff, especially those of us in the church, when you do stuff that are outside the bonds of marriage, you feel guilty. You feel like trash most of the time. If you really love the Lord and you and God have been locked in, but all of a sudden something happened, you'll feel like absolute trash. But he says within the bonds of marriage, there is no guilt. There is nothing that you feel, because you're supposed to feel all of those things with your spouse. He says within the bonds of marriage, intimacy has no cost, no guilt, and no regret. And I'm just looking forward to the days when I can do all of that as much as I want to and not feel any shame, any regret, and there's no cost to me. Because if I step out, all of those things is what I'm going to experience. And I don't want to experience that. I don't. Okay. He says, this is why God approves of only one relationship, one man, one woman who are married to one another, and why he has placed around it such a loving, protective boundary by proclaiming that marriage is to be held in honor among all and the marriage bed undefiled, Hebrews 13:4. God provided us with the only way to protect our moral purity, 1 Corinthians 7:1 and 2, protect your bodies physically. That was 1 Corinthians 6:18. Honor your spouse faithfully, Exodus 20:14, and keep your intimate experience glorifying to him, 1 Corinthians 6:19. He is not limiting your enjoyment, but he's protecting it. He's protecting us. All of the things that I want to experience should only be experienced with my spouse. And again, I'm not saying that I've been saved my whole life. I have not. So there have been moments and times, right, before I got saved. Even when after I professed the Lord, I was kind of out there doing whatever. I made a final decision in 1999 to serve God. And that's what I've done, faithful infidelity, all since then. But before then, right, there were other things. I was not married to my ex-husband before we were living together. We had a baby on the way. I think I was 6 months pregnant when we got married, and we had been together almost 4 years before then. So again, I was feeling all the guilt, all the shame. I was feeling terrible. I don't know how he was feeling. I'm just telling you about me because I knew the Lord and I wanted to serve God. I wanted to serve God so bad that I was really willing to just kind of be done with him. Like, make a decision, dude. What are we doing? Because I'm not going to keep playing house with you. I had that very conversation. I'm not going to keep playing house with you. You either marry me or you move out. Y'all. He moved out. He moved out. I should have knew right then. Don't marry this guy. He moved out. So guess what? I didn't talk to him for 3 months. I'm not talking to you. You moved out. Okay, I'm done. I don't revisit stuff. When I'm done with you, I'm done with you. So then he decided he didn't like that. So he came back. He's like, I'll marry you if we do this. Okay, fine. He wanted to get me a big old ring. Well, we can put the wedding off to another year if I get you a bigger ring. Give me the 99 special at Walmart. I'm getting married or you getting out, period. Because at a certain point, I just didn't want to have to keep going before the Lord pretending that I was living holy and pure, right? Whatever we do, if we go to the Lord and we ask him to forgive us, he is a forgiving God. That doesn't mean there aren't consequences. For everything we do, there's a consequence. However, God will forgive us. And he allows us to get right back on the wagon and keep on moving with him. However, in the bonds of marriage, there should never be a time when your spouse does not get their needs met on both sides. The husband doesn't get to say no, and the wife doesn't get to say no. Well, this is my body. I can do what I want to. No. When the two become one, your body no longer belongs to you. Now, let me qualify and quantify. That does not mean that your spouse can just do whatever they want to your body. There must be agreement with what we decide to do. That's where communication comes in. You've got to talk to me and tell me what it is that you need. Because if you're trying to do some stuff that you've seen on one of them girly movies, let me help you understand. Nobody can do all that. Nobody leg can, no. This man probably taking some little blue pills. This girl, they do 49 cuts and splice it together. You seeing 30 minutes of a long child. Ain't nobody done all that. So don't come to me with something you done seen on something that I'm not trying to watch with you and tell me this is what you want. I'm not here for that. But I can have whatever experience you want me to have with you. I'm going to have an experience with my man, him, not with them people you seen somewhere else. That's not what I'm doing. But communication is key. Had a lady tell me, she says, my husband want me to twerk. Me, preacher that I am, I said, well, girl, get a class. If that's what he like, learn how to twerk. I don't know what I know some people who can teach me the thing. I don't know how to do it either. But if that's what my man requires, or if that's what he likes, why not? Because the thing about the world you live in, what you don't do, somebody else will. And that's unfortunate, because I told y'all about the story where the girl, her and her best friend slept with the husband. We don't have no shame sleeping with your man. None. You got what I want, and I'm going to go after it. To the point that she stayed in the girl bed when the girl came in the house and looked at her like, yeah, I'm here. Yes, I was with your man. What? She lucky it's not Shakima, because I would have snatched. Never mind. Woo, glory to God. Right after I got done dealing with him, because I'm going to get him first. So we want to keep all of that. None of that should exist in a marriage. I need to decide what it is I'm willing to do and what I need done. And that can only come through voice communication. I know for some of us, mainly women, I'm not a man, so I can't give you man perspective, but mainly women, we are very, very shy and private when it comes to intimacy. We don't talk about it. We don't know what to talk about. I had another lady, she was in a coffee and conversation that I have, and she said she had never been told that she could wear. Just the thought of that was bad in the church. I think she was a first lady or something. This was years ago. And I'm like, ma'am, the marriage bed is undefiled. You can wear whatever you want, whatever you and your husband agree to. See, that's where the intimacy part comes in. We got to agree on what we're doing, right? Now, I'm not telling you what to do, because I don't know y'all like that, but I'm telling you that there has to be an agreement into what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna move on. You can never do justice to this particular topic because you can't say so many things. Okay. He says, but we are weak. We are affected by the past, deceived by our culture, tempted by unholy desires. Some Christians secretly view intimacy as dirty and shameful. That's how I grew up. It was dirty and it was shameful. How can it be dirty and shameful if it comes from the Lord? See, that's the question you got to ask yourself. I believe that God gave me this in the bonds of marriage to enjoy with my spouse. But on the other hand, somebody has told me that this is dirty and nasty and shameful, and I shouldn't want to do it. They have told women we shouldn't want to do it. We shouldn't enjoy it. We should just lay there. What? And squeeze me? Just let, ma'am. Don't let them people get you out here caught, okay? I want to enjoy every minute that I have with my spouse. Every minute. Because it's been a long minutes. It's been a lot of minutes that I have not enjoyed anything. I did that, my commitment to the Lord, but I want to enjoy that. So for God to open up my life and give me a spouse. So you're telling me I'm supposed to spend the next 50 years not enjoying him? Where they do that at? Some are haunted and weighed down by the memories of immorality or adultery of the past. Some of y'all have stepped out, and that thing right there can wreak havoc on your mind. That can wreak havoc. You can remember every detail of that other relationship, that other intimacy encounter that was not your spouse, and that thing will wear your mind out. And you got to learn how to get yourself together. You got to go back before the Lord. You may have to ask your spouse to forgive you, whatever the case. And if they forgive you, then you can't keep going out there where you was going before. You got to make sure that it's right here. That's why I think that it is so important that we figure out what each other likes. And when that one gentleman, he said to me, I'm not going to marry somebody I don't know if I'm compatible with. I said, well, don't you trust the Lord to help us be compatible together? That's what practice is for. That's what practice is for. I don't know everything. You don't know everything either. But I know how to say, oh, I don't like that. Oh, do more of this. Oh, yes, that's it. That you hitting on something right now. You know what I'm saying? That's communication. Talk through it. They got this thing on TikTok. Talk her through it. Talk me through it. Yeah, because I may not know. Especially those of us who, women who have never, ever, and hopefully the husband hasn't either, but if somebody has experience, then the other person needs to talk me through, talk her through, talk him through. Maybe he don't know. There's nothing wrong with doing that in your marriage, but we have been taught that it's wrong. And until you get the mindset that it's not wrong, then you're going to have an issue in your marriage. A lot of people will say that, especially churchmen, I just hear these types of things, that churchmen will go out and find worldly women because the women in the church won't do what the worldly women will. But that's because we have been put in prison. We have been locked up by people's mindsets and unbelief. There's a lady on here. Oh my God. There's two ladies. I think they're on TikTok. I don't remember. But they will tell you what you ain't supposed to be doing with your man. You ain't supposed to be doing this, and he ain't supposed to be doing this to you. I'm trying to figure out Why isn't any of your business? And we're preaching it from the pulpit now. If the marriage bed is undefiled, how dare you say what I can't do with my spouse or what my spouse can't do with me? Now, if me and my spouse agree that we're not going to do whatever, that's fine between us. But somebody else, see, when that stuff, especially when you're a good church girl, right? You're a good church girl. When you're hearing your spiritual parents or whoever you put in authority over you in the church telling you you're not supposed to do this, that, and the other, you're not going to do this, that, and the other. You're going to be inhibited in your relationship with your spouse because of somebody else's experience. And your spouse does not deserve that. They don't deserve that. Don't put that off on them. They're not going to understand that you grew up in purity culture. Perfect. Great. But God has clearly said we are married now. Purity culture is out the window. We finna be wilding out over here, whatever we doing. I'm just saying. I pray some of y'all would get wild in Jesus' name. Oh, Lord. Yes. Yes. I do this thing. Okay. I do this thing called the bedroom box. I love the bedroom box. It's my favorite. Okay. I'm not married, but I teach these things, right? Okay. I don't have to be married to teach stuff. I could teach stuff. So every wife, let me qualify. Every wife says to her husband, baby, I need you to bring home a box. He's like, what kind of box you need? You decide what kind of box it is. It's whatever box you want. So when he brings the box to the woman, now the wife, now she fills the box with all of the things that they might need, want, or enjoy in their intimate time. Now, the box does not come out all the time. It's not open in view because some of y'all have little kids and they nosy. So put it somewhere. But when the box comes out and the wife puts it in a place that the husband can see, he knows, oh, buddy, we're about to do the things. Okay. That is, that's excitement. That's anticipation. Listen, use your cellular device. Send some spicy messages to your spouse all day long. I'm not telling you what to send, but, be spicy with it. You're married. There's nothing wrong with sending spicy messages for married people. Send it. Hit send all day. And they come home, boy, it's going to be, all the things. Oh, okay. Oh, I wish I could say all the things I want to say, y'all. Okay. What else did he say? Some of you have given into the destructive undertow of girly movies, fueling lust with man-made and sinful alternatives to a pure, unpolluted, replenishing experience God designed for your intimate oneness with your spouse. As a result, it allows staleness to set in, pushing each other away, withholding something precious that rightly and exclusively belongs to your spouse. When you don't have communication and intimate compatibility, a lot of times we want to push them away, especially women, because I have to be emotional with you. If I'm getting in that, if I'm giving you myself, I need to be emotional. And if I don't feel like I'm doing a good job, then I'm going to separate myself. But maybe he just didn't like that. But as a husband, he should be able to tell me what he likes. I need verbal encouragement. Just give it to me. Tell me. So that's going to help me get out of my shell, because some of us are in a shell. It's going to help you get out of your shell. It's going to help you experience other things. It's going to help y'all grow together. He said that intimacy is going to cause emotional intimacy, relational intimacy, spiritual intimacy. You listen, okay? On and pop. You hear me what I'm talking about? Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. It will be. I cannot wait. So listen, right after all the things, right? You have gone to the mountaintop and it has happened. What's next? Most people would say sometimes the man rolls over and just forgets about the woman. What about aftercare? This stuff is, y'all better listen to stuff. Aftercare is now a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. I have to listen to certain things because I need to expand my resources. So aftercare, what does that look like? Well, that could be just canoodling. We're going to lay right here for a few more minutes and we just going to enjoy each other. I'm going to smell you. You're going to smell me. We going to do whatever. Or maybe that's others. Maybe we're going to eat a snack or something. I don't know. But if I feel like all you want to do is hit it and quit it, I'm going to have issues with that. And that's going to really shut the woman down. I know for women, again, I can't tell you about the man. They're not as emotional as we are. When we do it, we give you our whole selves. And when you reject us by that quick turnover, see, now we don't know what to feel. We don't know what to feel. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to do. And most times we'll get up, we'll go in the bathroom and cry ourselves, just cry in the shower. Just shower and the tears just run. He don't know nothing going on. We're having this inward battle. Did I do it right? Did I please him? Did I do that? All these things. Why? Because we have not cared for one another. We just got our needs met. Did you make sure that she got there too? Did she got there? Did you make sure he got there? See, that's a whole thing. We gotta. It's a joint venture to make sure that everybody gets what they need. Multiple times, if you can manage it. I'm just saying. I asked the Lord, this is a true story. I asked the Lord, I keep praying this. Let me tell you something. Ooh, honey, don't listen. I'm waiting too, but we ain't going to be waiting for long. I'm telling you the gospel truth. I'm not about to be waiting for the rest of my life. The Lord has a plan for Shakima. But I prayed this, and we can. I said, Lord, I would like a man that has I need a robust, intimate life, because it's been a long time. It's been a long time for me, and I need to make up. I got time. I need to make up for stuff. I know it's not his issue, his problem, whatever, but this is the woman you're getting, and I'm going to need you to be where I am. Get your vitamins, get your workouts in. I don't know, start lifting weights or something. Do something, because we got things to do. That is an okay prayer to pray. Well, Shakima, you're not married. You shouldn't be thinking about it. Well, why not? I'm not saying it captures my whole mind, but at some point I'll be thinking, okay, if he, when my husband comes, you got to prepare. I believe in preparation. Maybe. I think you should. How am I supposed to know what it's like if I don't ever think about it? I'm not saying, again, I don't dwell on it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I don't stay there for long, because it's not safe for me to think about all the things that my married friends have. But I do on occasion ask the Lord to give me what I desire. Nobody else's intimate relationship should be your goal. Your goal should be your goal. What you and your spouse are going to do together. Okay, I've been talking 42 minutes. I gotta go. Okay, moving on. Okay. You are the sole person on the face of the earth called and designated by God to meet your spouse's intimate needs. Just you. Now, that does not mean that another woman or man can't meet their needs, but God only designed it for you. They can step out and do whatever they want to do. There's consequences to all that, because if you cheat on me, listen, babe, if you listening, if you out here, listen to me. If you cheat on me, you don't have to worry about nothing else, because I don't know where you've been. I don't know what she got. I don't know how y'all ain't bringing nothing back over here. And I'm not waiting for the test results to get back, because there are some diseases that have a 10-year dormant period. I don't need, cheat if you want to, because I already know where I've been. Go ahead, do it. You would not have to worry about me. You would not have to worry about me. Not one more time. But why are they cheating? There's a disconnect somewhere. And if you feel like that's your only alternative, you better come to me and we can sit down and have a very adult conversation. It is okay for you to say, baby, this is what I need. In order for me to feel like I'm at the mountaintop, I need you to do this. Okay, babe, I'm not real sure how to do that, but if you help me, I'll get there. Then that's a give and take. Yeah, I got it. Oh, you willing? Yeah, but I just don't know how. I got this. I'm gonna help you through it. I'm gonna talk you through it. Right, that. You're designed for your spouse. Do not. He said in here, and I thought it was really good. I'm going to be done. He said, do not use intimacy as a punishment. Don't use it as a punishment. If he doesn't bring home this, you ain't going to put out. If she don't do this, you ain't going to give her none. What we doing? We too grown for that. Your body, think about it. Your body doesn't belong to you. Here's the thing. If for some reason you don't agree to that, then I don't think you should get married. Because if I want it, I want what I want, period. Just give me what I want. Don't question. I don't need questions. What I need is action. Give me what I want, what I need, what I deserve. Why? Because I'm going to do the same for you. It's reciprocity in intimacy. I'm going to give as good as I get, and sometimes better. Why? Because I've been waiting a long time. A long time. You hear me? Thank you so much for sharing. You hear me what I'm telling you? I've been waiting a long time. So I'm making up for lost time. I told my friends, I told my family and my friends, when the Lord mess around and give me a man, a husband, not a man, a husband, don't come to my house. Don't come for a long time. Because there's no telling what you might hear or see. Don't come over to my, please, not for at least the first six months to a year. I'm making up for lost. I'm going missing. I'm not coming to no events. Don't invite me to no functions. I'm going home. I'm coming to church. But after church, no, I don't want to go to dinner. I don't want to go to lunch. I'm going home because I got things to do. And that's the energy that you need to have and keep with your spouse. I promise you, you don't know what it means to a man. I'm not a man again, so I'm just giving you my best thought. You don't know what it means to a man for you to be available to him intimately whenever he wants it. Because see, we ain't ready all the time. I might have a headache or work was bad or something. We got to be we got to be there. Men don't have to be there. They just want it. So give it to them. Your husband, though. Okay. Moving on. All right. Let me see. Oh, so many things. I can't. Stop depriving one another. The Bible says, except for by agreement for a time that you are devoted yourself to prayer, and come together again quickly so that Satan will not have an opportunity to get busy in your marriage. You cannot leave that thing wide open. Babe, I need to consecrate. I need to pray, whatever the case is. Give him a timeline. I'm going to do a 3-day fast. Can you just give me 3 days? And preferably, let's fast together. Let's do it together. He says, for a time of togetherness, let's pray together. After those 3 days, baby, you better get out all the lingerie you got. You better put all the candles and roses and all, child. Listen, because if you don't, again, what you don't do, somebody else will. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay with the thought of somebody else being with your spouse, then you hold out. I'm not okay with that because I'll fight. Now, most people would think I'm going to fight the girl. I'm not about to fight her. I'm about to fight you because you are mine and I am yours. What does Steve Harvey say? You are mine and I am yours. I will fight everybody in here behind you. Okay? That's the energy I need my husband to bring. Shakima, don't play with me because I'll fight anybody behind you. Right? Same. I'm not about to play with that. My man can have anything he wants, anytime he wants, as long as he wants it. How much there are no limits to what I'm about to do. None. Because God has ordained that between a husband and a wife. And I'm very okay with that. And some of us need to be okay with that. If you are not, if you've been raised in churchdom where you are very afraid of it, or you are not sure if it's right, go back to the word. The word said it is right between a husband and a wife. If you need some coaching, go to your spiritual advisors, ask them, bring it up delicately or privately. Hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what, I'm not real sure here how to do things, especially if you've never done it before. You might need some help. Or there are too many resources out here now. I'm not talking about trash, but I'm talking about there are a lot of resources out here that you can find that will help you, right? Give you a step-by-step guide on what you're supposed to do. And then again, with your spouse, you need to decide what is it that we're willing to do for each other. If whatever we don't agree to right here, that's off the table. So you better get some agreement right now. Because if you bring up some crazy stuff after we have agreed, I'm going to wonder where you got it from and who allows you to do that. Don't come over here crazy. Let me try it on you first before you try it over here on me. That's my rule. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me because I need it. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. What is okay. Okay. This is the last thing I'm going to say because I'm done. I've been talking way too long. So each time you consummate your sacred relationship as a husband and a wife, again, it's still that same husband and wife. It's not meant for those of us who aren't married. It's just not. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what you didn't do. I'm not condemning you. The Bible says, where are your accusers? to the woman who was caught in act of adultery, where are your accusers, right? Hey, just go away. Don't do it again. That's God. That's what he does. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know anything about any of y'all personally. I know Yolanda's married, but that's all I know. I don't know Ladybug is married. I don't know anybody else. Don't tell me your stuff because it's not my business. But what I'm telling you is it's right in the bonds of marriage, and you have every right to express to your spouse what you need, and you have every right to give your spouse what they need in the bonds of marriage. Okay. Remember that your union is a celebration of your marital intimacy, the grand finale of your mutual love. Even more importantly, it is for the beautiful glory of your holy God. Worship him with your oneness for what he's done and for the eternal joy that's soon to come. That's what intimacy is. Now, typically, like I said, after this meeting, I would go into a private session with the ladies and we would talk about all of the resources, right? I would give you those resources. However, I did not plan for that this time, so we are not doing that. But you're there for tomorrow, day 32. We're prepping tonight for tomorrow. Now, some of y'all might not make it tomorrow, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. If you ain't gotta come if you are otherwise entangled. Okay. Yes, that's right. Tap the screen. You're there for tomorrow. If at all possible, try to initiate intimacy with your husband or your wife. You do it. Don't wait for them to do it. You do it. I don't know what you got to do. I don't know they love language. I don't know what it is. I got plenty of plans over here. I got plenty of plans about what I'm going to do. You got to figure that part out. Okay. Now okay, because some of us are really shy. Your spouse might be looking at you like, girl, what are you doing? Where you learn that at? Just say, baby, I'm trying something new. I'm trying something new. I learned this at a study group. We all right. They think you out here doing other stuff, but you might not. Okay. Do this in a way that honors what your spouse has told you or implied to you about what they need from you in that regard. So are you listening to what he's telling you? I need it this many times a week, this long. I need to do this type of situation. I'm really not okay with. You got to be listening. Put your ear to the ground and hear what he's saying, preferably when it's going on, right? Because he's telling you all the things, especially if he's talking you through it. He giving you he putting you up on game, what he needs. Just go with that. Okay. Okay. Ask God to make this enjoyable for both of you, as well as a path to greater intimacy. I know for some of us, especially those of you who your marriage is, you just don't even know that this 40 days, you thought it was going to do something and it's not doing anything. They're not reciprocal. They don't want to talk to you about any of it. I get it. It's hard, especially for women, to give ourselves to somebody that is not emotionally attached to us. I get that. I totally understand. However, I want to save my marriage. This is what you got to do. This is your dare for tomorrow. You got to be the one who steps up first. You got to be the one who sends the spicy messages all day. You got to be the one who sets the atmosphere in the house. Send them kids to somebody else's house for at least a few hours. Tell your sister to come get them, whatever. You're the one, and you can't put it off to day 38. This is day 32. You have to do this tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with mornings. There's nothing wrong with afternoons. Meet me for lunch. There's nothing wrong with early evenings. There's nothing wrong with late at nights. Y'all got to figure that part out. There's no set time when you're supposed to be intimate with your person. It's whenever we want to be intimate with each other. Okay? So get that out your mind. It got to be on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. It don't. It could be Thursday night at 9 in the morning. Thursday morning at 9. Whatever works for y'all. Do that. For us shy girls, I know that's a challenge. But tomorrow we're going to be brave. Tomorrow we're going to be brave. We're going to work ourselves up, and we're going to hit send on that phone. I need you to be here at this time. Okay? Or get real brave. Just go and get a room somewhere. You don't even have to do it at your house. If you feel better, you feel like more brave. If it's not at your house, get a room. I don't have money for that. You got money for everything else. Let me tell you something. If you do not invest in your marriage, you can never hope for a return. If you don't put anything in, there's nothing coming back out. I promise you. But I got $100 for a room. I ain't going to be there long. Just enough time to do what I got to do and sleep and go home the next day. Why do we count even the money? You can spend $8 on a Starbucks, 30 days out the month. That's what, $240? That's 2 rooms, honey. You could have went twice. You hear me? Go find you a nice, cute nighty thing. What he likes. Don't buy what you like. Buy what he likes. So some of you ladies, Solara. That's, you want to go check that out. Solara. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Check that out. They having a buy one, get one. So you need to buy one and get one. Different colors. What's his favorite? Get your nails done in his favorite color. All your stuff should be whatever his favorite is tomorrow. Now, men, I can't help y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all put some effort and some, what do I want to say? Some emotion into it, men, because we know it is not emotional. Okay. But tomorrow you're going to do it. You're going to do all the things. And I'm not asking you to report back, but I do want you to go into your reflection tomorrow night. And your questions are, was this a satisfying experience for you? If it didn't turn out the way you'd hope, what do you think is complicating matters? Have you committed to this prayer? If it was a true blessing for both of you, what can you learn from this for you to do in the future, right? It's all about self-reflection. I wasn't brave. Maybe I didn't do all the things I had planned. I ran out of time. I didn't get the kids off and up, whatever. You got to write that down. And then you adjust that plan for the next time that you're planning to be with your spouse. Okay. Make sense? Okay. Now, some of y'all might not be here tomorrow, and that's okay. Those of you who will, I'll be here. Join me for Love Completes Each Other. Now, tomorrow night, I may actually be teaching at 5. Okay. My birthday's today. I'm going out tomorrow for my birthday. For the next 2 days, I got a couple things that I got going on. Tomorrow, I'm going to be gone. So if I don't think I can get here by 9, I may either go at 10 or I may do it before I leave. So I'm not pressed for time getting back. Does that make sense? So I may do 5. If you miss it, that's fine. Just catch the replay. If you don't make it tomorrow, catch the replay. You don't have to come. I hope you don't come. I hope you're otherwise occupied for a long time. Yes, I do. Yes and amen. All righty, you guys, there it is. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am excited for you. Yes, I am. Father, I pray right now that they would experience everything that they have never experienced before in their lives. God, let it be stars, fireworks, all of the things, God. Please let these people connect with each other. God, you said, and the two shall become one. I thank you, Lord, that there is a oneness that only can be created in a marriage. I am so thankful for each and every couple, for each and everything that they're going to do and experience with each other. God, the marriage bed is undefiled. It's called the Love Dare. It is undefiled. And I thank you, Lord, that no past experience, no devil in hell, or no crazy preacher preaching from the pulpit, anything that they have said will keep marriages from flourishing in the intimacy space. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now, join me tomorrow. Maybe at 5, maybe at 10. I don't know. If you see me on, just jump on. Tomorrow, love completes each other. There it is, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you will, like the video, share, subscribe, follow, do all of the things on the platform that you're on, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me.